Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Entitled People. In today's episode, Entitled SIL wants custody of my baby. I don't pet sit for free. She couldn't eat it in the end. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Entitled SIL wants custody of my baby. Background: me, 36F, SIL, 40F. I've been married to her brother for over 10 years and there's always been some jealousy and resentment from her. She's always felt like I had the life she wanted, not necessarily with her brother, but the marriage, family, job stability, etc. I have 3 kids: 10F, 8M, 3 months female. She got married last year and they decided to start trying for a baby, but she was unfortunately told that she can't have children naturally. She was understandably devastated and the family comforted her as best as we could. We recently had a family dinner and in the middle of it she says, "Angel 698, I think it's really unfair that you got to have 3 kids and I can't have any. Your baby is my last chance to raise a child, so I think you should give her to me during the week so I can create a motherly bond with her and you can have her on weekends." Before I could respond, the entire table erupted with everyone talking at once, so I took my older kids upstairs. When I got back to the dining room, her husband was asking what the hell is wrong with her and why would she even think to ask that. She was trying to justify herself when I asked them to leave. I also said that she's no longer welcomed at my house or around my children until she gets help. She started screaming that I don't deserve my life or my children and that I stole her baby from her. Her husband in MIL kept apologizing and dragged her out of the house, still crying and screaming. Now my kids want to know why their aunt wants to take the baby. Edit. I've been reading the comments, but it's too many to reply to, so here are a few points. 1. We have a security system and cameras already installed and no one has keys to our house. 2. I will not be able to get a restraining order as this one incident isn't enough to justify it. 3. My husband and I spoke to the older kids about it the same night and will be having another talk with them to reinforce that SIL is not a safe person anymore. 4. Our country does not have the right to bear arms and I also have no interest in getting a gun. 5. I'll be informing the school and daycare of the issue and giving them her photo. For those questioning the validity of the post, I completely understand. If I had heard about this last week, I wouldn't believe it either, but it's unfortunately the situation I'm currently dealing with. Stay safe. At least the rest of the family recognize her craziness. If she ever goes to daycare, make sure they know she is not allowed to pick up your daughter. I would also contact the school your other children attend just in case. She sounds unhinged. Yes, the entire family agrees she needs help, but still be careful because you never know what she might do. If you don't already have one, get a video doorbell. She's not on any of the pickup lists, but I'll take the advice and let the school and daycare know that she isn't to be in contact with my kids. When I was a kid, a distant family member, A, suffered a miscarriage about 3 months before her sister, B, announced her pregnancy. O insisted her baby moved into B and she would reclaim her baby when B delivered. I remember a lot of talk about crazy cousin A, as if it were comedy material. It took a kidnapping attempt to get the family to take it seriously. I'm glad your family sees this for the serious problem it is. I hope your SIL gets therapy and that it works for her. Good call on making it clear that she is no longer welcome around you or your family until she gets help. I'm sure she is devastated and thinks your baby is the solution. She needs help. I hope she gets the help and support she needs. Then maybe she can explore adoption or foster if she feels mentally strong enough and capable. We already have a security system and cameras because there's been a trend of house break-ins in our area lately. No one has the code or keys to our house, not even the in-laws, so we're safe on that front. Unfortunately, a restraining order won't happen because it will take a lot more than this to justify requesting one. We've never relied on her for childcare or pickups, so she's essentially a stranger to the daycare and school. I don't pet sit for free. A few years ago, two friends' mothers were hospitalized and subsequently passed away. During that time, they needed a last-minute pet sitter and I volunteered. They always went above and beyond when I needed help, so I looked at this as an opportunity to repay them. Our mutual friend Dana heard about this and told her friend Samantha that I pet sat. Dana never cleared it with me. Sam emails me that she has accepted a job as a traveling nurse and is gone for weeks at a time. She contacts me with dates that she will need me to watch her cat. I respond that I am available and how much I charge. She replies that she's surprised I charge and that it's too much money. I explain to her that I need to cover mileage costs as her house is far from my home and that I would have paid my neighbor to look in on my cat. She then tells me that I could move into her house and not have to pay rent and I can bring my cat so that our cats can be friends. I tell her I have signed a lease and don't want to move. I added that cats aren't as social as dogs and I don't want to risk my cat getting hurt. Then she tries to get my sympathy by saying she is in dire straits because she doesn't know anyone else with references who pet sits on such short notice. I want to tell her that lack of planning on her part is not an emergency for me. But I didn't, I let the whole thing go. The next month I run into Dana and Sam at a party. In front of a group of friends, she tells me in a very self-important way that not only does she not have to pay for me to cat sit anymore, but she found a sitter who pays her. She found a person on Craigslist who for reduced rent will watch her cat and do chores. I congratulate her for thinking out of the box. I guess she was expecting a different reaction from me because she seemed irritated at my compliment. Worse yet, I didn't see a red flag. She and Dana were birds of a feather. Dana ended up being one of the most condescending, entitled people I have ever met. I wish everyone strength with the entitled people in your lives. They are exhausting. Years ago, I had a friend who was going on a road trip with her kids. She asked me to watch her dog, which I had no problem doing. Her dog and my dog were about the same size and got along great. So I watched her dog at my place for about 2 weeks and didn't ask for any money. To me, it's just what friends do. Few months later, due to work, I was going to be away for 2 days. So I asked her if she could watch my dog for those days. She immediately said it was going to cost me $200. I was taken aback for a few seconds, then asked if she was joking. She was not. Even after reminding her I watched her dog without any expectations of payment, she didn't care. She demanded I was going to pay her. After that, I stopped talking to her and our friendship died. I don't expect my friends to ever give me the shirt off their backs, but giving a helping hand here and there is a nice thing to do. If you ever run into her again, ask her if she has noticed anything missing from her place while this stranger is supposedly house-sitting her cat. Just a simple way to get into her head. Travel nurses make bank. That's why she took the job. She just doesn't want to pay for your labor. My daughter house/barn sits. She is paid very well. A lady contacted her and said she had 10 horses who would need to be fed twice a day and there would be the normal barn chores. My daughter gave her the higher rate due to the amount of horses. Lady said she would call back. She did not. So a friend of a friend, so just an acquaintance, wants you to pet sit for free so she can take a job that probably pays around $200K. Yeah, screw her. She couldn't eat it in the end. Years ago, my parents and I went to Asia to visit family and stayed at a Sheraton Beach resort that included a breakfast buffet. They had a really nice omelet station where you choose your ingredients and a guy would make your omelet while you wait. The cook signaled me to raise my plate so he could just slide it off the pan onto my plate. The cook began tipping the pan when suddenly a plate out of nowhere suddenly snuck on top of my plate and the omelet fell on it. A Chinese woman came out nowhere had just stolen my omelet. The cook and I were just shocked. I just said what the hell, looked at her and was gonna say something and decided if she was willing to go that far and was able to pull off that ninja level sneakiness, she deserved the omelet. I just looked at the chef and laughed. The cook smiled and made me another omelet. As I was walking back to my table, I saw the woman complaining in Mandarin about something. A guy who was in line behind me at the omelet station walked by and said, "She's complaining about how she can't eat this cause there's so much cheese on it and she's not used how fatty it was / being lactose intolerant." LOL. My relatives had warned me about new money Chinese tourists and how they look down on other Asians. Maybe she thought I was a local? Little did I know that I would run into many more on my trip. I'm sure she was shitting through the eye of a needle later that day if she was lactose intolerant. Instant karma. That is a horrific and accurate description of it, LOL. Should have immediately tipped her plate so the omelette fell off. Entitled Chinese women are the worst. I thought about it but wasn't worth making a scene over a mediocre omelette, LOL. The best way to insult new money is to remind them that their behavior is poor. I.e., if you are so hungry that you must steal food that doesn't agree with you, I will gladly donate something that will keep you nourished. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.